So, ladies and gentlemen, with the season basically all but over with one game to go, Barcelona said their final game, played their final match at the Camp Nou and finished up in style, and we got the job done. But ladies and gentlemen, this is yet another episode of the Blaugrana Podcast, guys. Sorry, guys, today we're not live, unfortunately, guys, due to circumstances. But you guys know, man, we're always going to do a podcast, guys. This is the number one Barcelona podcast out here, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, there's no Blaugrana podcast without man like Barca Boy 103. Yo, Hafed, brother, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Season now pretty much all but over. Lewandowski up top leaving us. Sad time. But to be honest, I am quite excited for the next season and the transfer window to come, seeing how well we do and how we can position ourselves to hopefully do better than this season, next season.
Absolutely, man. But listen, make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and get in the chat, guys. Get involved in the chat, guys. We'll be watching the chat every single time, guys. But yeah, Hafed, listen, like you mentioned, man, it was an emotional weekend, obviously. Man like Robert Lewandowski, man like Mr. Lewandowski himself played his final game at the Camp Nou, finally, capping up an amazing 4 years at this great club of ours, right? Joined us during a time of crisis, a moment when the morale was low as a Barcelona fan. He was a top-class player, world-class player. Let's be real, best striker in the world, right? No undisputed. Everyone who watched him back then, they knew, man, he was that guy. He was him. And, he challenged himself, right? He was at a club where everything was going well. Let's be real. It wasn't like, he was leaving a club that was struggling to join a club that was better. He did the complete opposite. He was he was leaving a team that were on the up and up. Everything was looking great, right? They were dominating Europe, dominating the league. Everything was looking perfect. And then he left. At the peak of their powers, he left them to join the struggling Barcelona that were rebuilding, right? And what an amazing signing this guy has been. Because, we can look at a lot of players during this revolution that we're in. We look at players like Rafinha, Impact, we've seen Yamas rise, right? We see all these guys. But for me, I feel Lewandowski is the most integral one for me, personally, because he was the man. He was the world-class player who came in and challenged himself. He was the one, because see, this is the thing, man. Like sometimes you look at these kind of moves and you think it could backfire. It could have backfired on him. He could have come to Barcelona, things didn't go well, and basically, put a cap in his career. You look at guys like Neymar when they decided to leave to join PSG. You look at even like with a lot of players go through this. Like you look at Hazard when he was at Chelsea, was doing well, went to Real Madrid. Yeah, Real Madrid went on to do well later on, but he was never the same. And a lot of people were looking at Lewandowski thinking he might be committing career suicide, but no. I think he's basically cemented his legacy as one of the greatest strikers of all time. If you look at his career stats, he did it at Dortmund, he did it at Bayern, and now he's done it everywhere. He's done it everywhere he's gone. And people can't say he's always taking the easy way out, because he joined the Barcelona team that was struggling and he won 3 out of 4 league titles. This is not prime Barcelona. This is not MSN. This is not Iniesta and Xavi in the midfield. This is not that team. This is a team that is growing to something special, which we are not yet. And we can go on to become great. And we're going to remember these 4 years that we struggled and said, you know what? It's guys like Lewandowski that are the reason why we are where we are now. Because he was the hero. These are the unsung heroes that we always remember. Like I always said this, for me, he cemented his legendary status at this club for 4 years. Because sometimes it's not always about the trophies you win. Trophies are incredible, right? Champions Leagues, Ballon d'Or, all of these things, yes, they create your legacy. But becoming a legend at the club is not always about longest serving players. Like sometimes long serving players don't become legends. I'm sorry, nobody's going to look at a player like, I don't know, like Martin Montoya and compare him to Lewandowski. He might have been here for 4 years, but that 4 years, during the most toxic time in his time, it's like a Rijkaard. We look at guys like Rijkaard. Rijkaard is a legend at Barcelona. Why? Because in those 4 years, he rebuilt that team, and then Pep Guardiola took that team and elevated it to the next level. That's what made Rijkaard a legend. And that's what Lewandowski is. He is a legend of this club. And I've said this in my opinion, for me, he's surpassed Neymar. That's controversial to many people, but to me, he is, because when you look at Neymar, Neymar should have had one of the greatest legacies, and he did the treble at Barcelona, right? But you look at that Barca team was complete. If Lewandowski was in that team, we would have won everything with Lewandowski. Let's be real. And he left us and tried and he left us in a time when really we needed him. We were looking at Neymar as the golden boy, as the guy who would carry it. But let's be real. Messi and Suarez were also carrying most of that weight too. He was lucky to be in that front three. He didn't have to carry all the load. Even though he did carry a lot, he was doing well. He didn't carry all the load. Lewandowski had to carry a lot of the load until recently, when Rafinha started to rise in the last 2 seasons, when Yamal started to become his own man. That's when we started to see Lewandowski take a step back, and then we started to see those two kind of being the main man. And that's why he's leaving now. Because now he's leaving the club in a stage now where he's like, I'm not the main man anymore. I don't need to be the main man. This club will survive without me. And you just heard it from his farewell, right? He believes that Barcelona are back to where they belong. 100%. We are back to where we want to be. We're competing again. And you're a big reason why we are. So, on behalf of every Barca fan, thank you. Thank you, and you are a legend of this club. 100%. But, Hafid, you let me know, man.
I always knew this moment would come when Lewandowski would leave and the question would say, is he a legend or not? I always said in the build-up that I think he needs a UCL, but I think my opinion has changed a bit just after reflecting on his time at Barcelona when he's come to us. He did a podcast a few months ago as well, speaking about, the behind-the-scenes stuff, and he started to realize how influential he is, not only just on the pitch, but also off the pitch as well. Yep. The fact that this man cried when he got subbed off is crazy as well, which shows how connected he is. He didn't cry when he left Bayern Munich, but he cried when he left Barcelona. He will always be. I think he'll be a legend. I think he's a legend, but he's very, low ranked on the legend list in terms of, what his impact was for Barcelona. It's still significant, of course. That's why he's there. In regards to Neymar, I don't classify Neymar as a Barca legend. I classify him as a Barca icon.
I don't either, personally.
I think he's an icon. You have icons like him, Pedro, David Villa, Rakitic, Sergio Roberto. These players that had their moments at Barcelona that were good, but didn't do enough to maybe get that legendary status. A lot of them are legends on the Barca website just because they just give it to anyone nowadays. But to be a true legend, you gotta be the top notch. So even for example, you have players like Stoichkov, Rivaldo, Coleman. These are all legends, right? Yeah. Johan Cruyff. Legends. Then you look at maybe Belletti because he got that goal in the final in 2006. He's an icon. You have maybe Yaya Toure, a few good years. He's an icon. Seydou Keita, a few years. He's an icon. David Villa, I already mentioned. Pedro, even though he's at the club for a while, I still think he's an icon. He had some great moments, but I don't think, he ever was at a point where he was starting week in, week out. Of course, won the big trophies at Barcelona, but won that second UCL in the backup role. He, of course, won his first UCL as a starter in the final with Villa and Messi. But, yeah, I don't classify Neymar as a legend. So, of course, for me, Lewandowski is ranked higher than Neymar. I think a lot of the Barca players in the team right now are ranked higher than Neymar, to be honest. But that's a topic for another day. But what Lou has given us, that's not that controversial. What Lou has given to the club over the past 4 years, I think, short of extraordinary. Like you mentioned, he joined when we were at our lowest. He came in as a star to bring the team back to the level that we deserve to be at. And like he said at the end of his speech, once a Kool-Aid, always a Kool-Aid, so it's never going to change.
And also, Hafid, if there's any great news that Lewandowski's departure potentially brings, is this right here. This is music to my ears. This is probably the best news I've heard this whole week. I mean, it's not confirmed yet that we are, right? I think it's all but confirmed. I think they're basically saying that in the start of the summer, we will be in the 1-to-1 room, right? At the start of the summer. But with Lewandowski leaving and the timing of his departure is actually perfect, right? He's leaving at the right time. He's leaving as a legend. He's already done everything. He doesn't need to prove anything at this club. Even if we win the Champions League, I'm gonna be very real. I feel like he's already done enough for me. Like I'm gonna be very honest, because when he joined, we didn't think we were gonna win the Champions League anytime soon, anyways. But the fact that we were so close, and he was a big part of that, is same as a legend. But this right here, Hafid, is why I am really happy about this departure. Is because not only is he leaving, but he's going to be helping us on his way out. Because here it is. They're saying Barcelona is expected to start the summer under the La Liga's 1-to-1 rule. Lewandowski's departure will free up over 24 million euros gross from a salary bill, right? From the salary bill. The club also have 71 million euros from the VIP seats recognized by the auditors. That's good to hear. And the growth of the Spotify Camp Nou. Only an unexpected setback would stop Barcelona from entering the market, the 1-to-1 rule, and much financial position. Afet, there you heard it. There you heard it. I mean, look, you know my opinion when it comes to our sporting director, Deco. I've thought that he wasn't good enough. I have said that I don't think he's the guy. He's not good at negotiations. Some of the players that we've been linked to are only short-term fixes and all this stuff. I've cautioned them. And all of the Deco defenders, including you, have been saying, Omar, he's not been able to spend freely. We're still not in the 1-to-1 rule. He's had to work with the system. So let's wait until we get to the 1-to-1 rule, and let's see him cook then. Let's wait for him to cook. And I said, okay, no problem. I'm a patient man. I'll wait. Now, as you heard there, unless there is a big setback, we are to enter the transfer market this summer under the 1-to-1 rule, which basically means that we can spend as much as we bring in. And we've been bringing in money. We know we have. We have been bringing money, right? And also, remember, financial fair play is also a factor as well. Barcelona have really not spent crazy amounts of money in the last 3 years if we're going to keep it 100. We haven't. Like, that's why Liverpool were able to spend crazy last summer, because they were working with the books the last few years. So their financial fair play amount of money they could spend was rising during the year. That's why they were able to spend as crazy as they did. I'm not saying we're going to be spent to that level. Absolutely not. But with the fact that in the last two to three seasons, in the UEFA financial fair play, we've now been able to spend a lot of money, we can have more freedom to spend money because we do generate a lot of money. You understand what I mean? So now I'm looking at it, Hafid, and I'm saying, well, I don't want to hear any excuses this summer. I'm not saying go get me a full 11. I never said that. But I'm telling you, Hafid, I need to see the players that are required to challenge for Europe next season. And that means a fixed defense, because that's the first priority. Fix my defense. Fix the whole defense, right? Fix the whole defense. And then, most importantly, now that I know we're in the 1-to-1 rule, I need a striker in the summer. I'm going to be very honest. I need a striker in the summer because I cannot start with only Ferran Torres in the attack. I'm sorry. So, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Deco, people told me to wait to let you cook. Okay, cool. I'll let you cook. You better cook in the summer because I've got the pitchforks ready. And I got my receipts. So, Hafid, how do you think, if we get in under the 1-to-1 rule, how do you think Deco and Barcelona are going to step into the transfer window?
I think they're going to go into the transfer window with, unfortunately, maybe not unfortunately anymore, a striker being the priority now. We've been talking, of course, the past 2 months about a defender. I think now with Lewandowski leaving, we probably lead in this team right now a striker more so than a defender, because, like you just mentioned, we cannot head into next season with Ferran Torres as our starting striker. So I think we will sign a center back. I think that's a guarantee. But I think now the club are going to be prioritizing getting a striker first. And we'll wait and see with the 2 loan players as well, Cancelo and Rashford. Flick is telling the club that he wants to keep both. Flick now with this new renewal that he announced, that was announced yesterday, I think it was. Apparently now Flick has a little bit more power when it comes to making decisions in regards to players staying and leaving. So he's asked to keep Cancelo and Rashford. And we'll wait and see what we get for striker. It looks like right now Joao Pedro is the number 1 option because Julian Alvarez is too expensive and he's not pushing for a move internally. And then you had to get a backup left winger as well. If you don't sign Rashford, we're being linked with, like Abdi and Bradley Barcola and Jan Regilli and Victor Munoz and all these random left wingers. And at center back, it's been Bastoni, but now we're hearing that Bastoni's a bit upset that we're not going for him because now we're prioritizing a striker. We told him the priority was a center back 2 months ago.
We'll get to him. We'll get to him.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I got something. I got something to say about that situation.
So, I think we will cook in the transfer window. Of course, it's going to be a lot of players leaving the club as well. You have, a bunch of goalkeepers leaving. You'll have a lot of defenders, the ones on loan, on Fati. I think the only player probably in the squad that's guaranteed to leave is maybe Casado. I think the rest will be subject to offers like Kunde and Balde and maybe Rooney. I think the rest I don't really see going. I would hope we would sell Idaho, but I don't think we will. We have, of course, Christian that might end up staying as well. So we're gonna. I think there won't be any fullback signs, which is something that you and I discussed that we want in this team. In the club C, Eric Garcia, Cancelo, Balde, Gerard Martin, Eric Garcia is more than enough coverage in the fullback positions if of course they go on and keep Cancelo. So I think that's maybe a little bit of the downside. But striker, center back, backup left winger, if it's not Rashford, and the rest of the team will probably look the same. So at least the positive is that we have money to spend, which is good, and we're going to spend big money on those two positions, a center back and a striker. And probably end up. And the club could choose. They would bring in a top striker, top center back, keep Rashford, keep Cancelo, and then of course trying to get rid of the fringe players like Ter Stegen, Ake Pena, whoever else may be. But I'm fairly confident that we can have a good summer. Just down to execution.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this just came out like an hour ago. So there it is, Hafet. It's all but confirmed now. So they're saying it now. The La Liga have approved Barcelona's return to the 1-1 rule. So now we know. There's no longer a rumor now, Hafet. It's no longer a rumor. It's cleared now. We are in the 1-1 rule in the summer. Lewandowski's departure. We've now finally hit it. Okay? So, look, at the end of the day, I'm going to talk about the Barcelona, but I want to finish up with the Bastoni news. I want to finish up with that news. But with this news right here, I don't want to hear anymore. I don't want to hear any more talk now, Hafed. I'm going to be very honest, man. I am not hearing no more talking about, Omar, but bro, I'm sorry. Because I've been hearing this for years, right? When I sit there and say, why are we not going out for this player, that player, when we've been told we have the money, but we just can't spend the money. That's what we've been told. Okay, cool, no problem. I'm a patient man. And now I've been patient enough, right? But now here we are. But, Hafed, let's actually switch gears because I actually have something I want to say. Hafed. So apparently, there's a new manager in town. So I've been hearing it. Apparently, a special one has returned back to his home. The Flick Slayer, as some of these Madridistas have been calling him. I've heard it all, Hafed. I've watched the Galactico podcast with Will and Dave. Sitting there moving like Paul Heyman, hyping up Brock Lesnar. Sitting there saying, special one is back. Things are about to change. Things are going to improve. Next season, we're going to win the league. Next season, we're going to expose Flick. The Flick stay has officially returned. I've heard it all, Hafed. But let me tell you something right now, Hafed. I don't know about you, but me, Omar talks football. Me, Omar. I ain't worried. You see my face? You see my eyes? Ain't worried. Obviously, if it works, it would be a problem. Because I think tactically, Mourinho is a prick. He's going to set up disgustingly against Barcelona, and that will frustrate us. But let me tell you guys something. You Madridistas, if this thing doesn't work, if you guys think that this season was toxic, Hafed, the Keeping Up with the Madridistas episode, season 2, next season, will be the season to not miss. But let me tell you something, Madridistas. This is all hype. Okay? I don't believe the hype. I am worried. I ain't worried about none. Next season, we're winning the treble. Next season, we're doing our third league title in a row. Remember when Mourinho came in 2010 and they started hyping him up and Pep had to put him in his place in that first Clasico? Flick is doing that. We're putting 5 on your head top in the first Clasico. You better praise the first Clasico. It's not at the Camp Nou. All my days, I need to smoke on that Mourinho pack. Okay? We're going to smoke on that Mourinho pack. You hear me? Oh, you might do this thing. You got... Listen, do I look worried? You said the same thing about Alonso last season. This season, whatever. Last season, they said, Alonso is here. Things are going to change. I heard it all happen. You heard it all. We all heard it. We heard it. And I wasn't intimidated. Then I told you guys, I'm a patient man. I'll wait. And I waited. And they always say, man, he who laughs best. And it is my turn to laugh. And guess what? I'm going to laugh until next season because this is going to fall flat on your ass. Man, like Mourinho and Mbappe, bro. Ego versus ego. Woo! I cannot wait. I cannot wait, bro. We all know Mourinho. Mourinho doesn't give 0 Fs. That man gives no Fs. He is going to go to the media and call out everybody, bro. He will call out Mini. He will call out Bellingham. He will call out Mbappe. He will call out Florentino Perez. He will call out the media. Bro, I mean, listen, maybe this might work, Hafed, because Florentino Perez is out here calling out everybody. Maybe this might work. Maybe. But let me tell you what's not going to happen. You guys did thrown in Barcelona. Listen, man, this is the start of a revolution. The revolution of Barcelona. Okay? Now that we're in the 1-to-1 rule, you guys are screwed. Do you understand? You are screwed. Because now there's no such thing as, loan deals. Buying scraps. Free transfers. We are here. We are ready to spend. Okay? And we're going to spend. And Mourinho wants to already start the games right now by trying to link himself to Bastoni, right? He's trying to steal our transfer target, yeah? You want to start that war with us? Hey, listen, man. Don't worry. I'm ready for anything, bro. I'm ready. Hafed is ready. Barca fans, we are all ready, bro. We've already got 2 league titles on your head. Flick has already won 6 out of 7. And next season, he's going to win 9 out of 10. Oh, no, actually, no. Is it 8 out of 9? No, 9 out of 10, because we're going to play them twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times has Flick played? What, 7? 7 times?
He's played 7 and he's won 6.
Okay, so next season we're going to win 2. We're going to win
just 4 last season and then 3 this season.
Listen, man, we all know Flick is the Madrid slayer, man. 7 out of what? 8? 6 out of 7. My bad. 6 out of 7. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a record, right? Those are numbers. Numbers don't lie, and Flick's numbers don't lie. But Hafed, what do you think about this whole Mourinho return, man? Because they've been doing the hyping, man. Like, what are we saying about this?
I mean, I think they'll be a little bit better, of course. I think maybe they can win a cup, and the Classicals might be a little bit closer than before. But I don't think Mourinho will take them to, the heights that they want to be at. Winning La Ligas and Champions Leagues on a consistent basis. I mean, the guy's not been in the top job in years. He went undefeated with Benfica, but finished 3rd place. He was at Roma, Fenerbahce, and all these kind of teams. I think he's a bit not washed, but a bit. Will they win trophies? Maybe, probably. But do I see our dominance continuing overall? Yeah, I think let's say Mourinho signs a 3-year contract and they win 1 league title, but we win 2, so we're still on top. We're still dominant. That's something that I can expect, and maybe the Classicals will be a bit tighter and a bit more fierce, you could say. But I'm not threatened in terms of a Madrid era of dominance coming and stuff like that.
I am worried.
Mm-hmm.
I am not worried. Now listen, I already said if it works, it could be a problem. But you know what, man? This Madridistas, man, the way they've been hyping up this guy, man, nah, man. Listen, I'm already said, man, football carnage has already put the kiss of death. Every time this brother hypes anybody, they're faltering, man. So I already know Mourinho is gonna fail. This man had the cigar out, man. When he had that cigar, I'm like, yep, he's gonna fail next season. Oh, it's gonna be beautiful. Beautiful to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, we'll be here for that. The meltdowns are gonna feed the streets. Do not worry about it. But Hafed, I'm not gonna waste too much time because I do want to go straight to the final topic before we do get out of here, Hafed. I'm sorry I have to end this in a negative term, but I'm sorry, I gotta do this, man. Hafed, bro. I said, why? You know what, right? I don't like doing this. I don't like doing this. I don't like coming down here and sounding negative, losing my head, shouting, always going off, right? But this club, right? This club just love to trigger me. No, they really do. They really like to trigger me, Hafid. Because, so, it's in the breaking news. Bastoni deal now off. So the club confirmed that they are out of the race. Flick has never fully been convinced with his signing and Inter asking for 70 million for him. Bro, you are not convinced of Bastoni? You are not convinced of... We have players like Rana Araujo in this defense. And then Christensen cannot be fit for a day in his life. We have Gerard Martinez, one of our best centre-backs, and he's not even a centre-back. We have Eric Garcia. We have Kobashi, who's still growing. And yet you're telling me, you look at that defense, and you're looking at Bastoni and say, nah, I'm good with the ones I got right now. Really? Really? I mean, hasn't our defense cost you enough embarrassments already, especially in the Champions League? How many times do we have to score 5 goals and concede 4? How many times do we have to score 2 to concede 3? How many times do we have to score 2 to concede 4, bro? What the hell is this? No, seriously, bro. Come on, man. Bro, I'm just a fan watching. Everyone who watches Barcelona can tell you that our defense is our biggest weakness. It's always the defense, bro. Ferran Torres, who I don't trust, still put on 20 goals. But it's putting over 20 goals this season, 20 GA. And when we're interested in getting a striker, then fixing this defense has been costing us the last 2 years. And no, man.
I wouldn't read into this too much. I think that Barcelona right now have kind of switched their focus to a striker because, like we mentioned at the beginning,
why though? That's my question.
Because we need a striker more. We have 9 center backs and we have 1 striker. I understand. I agree with your point, but when you look at squad building, you have to bring in a striker now first. Because I would rather have Gerard Martin at center back than Ferran Torres up front. I don't know about you. In regards to like this Bastoni deal off and being fallen through, I wouldn't read into it too much. I would say that this Flick approval is something to look at because it's becoming more and more evident that maybe Flick doesn't really fancy Bastoni, but that's the case why we have been working on this deal now for 2 months and wasting time. I think that's a bit strange, but I wouldn't, write it off completely. The report that you brought up on the screen from Sport, it's coming in from someone that's, your mom is probably more reliable than him.
Barca Universal are known to be a reliable source, though. That's the thing.
No, Barca Universal, Omar, they tweet stuff from any journal. If you write an article for Sport, they'll tweet. You can say that we're being linked with Messi from Miami, and they'll post it. Barca Universal are not a reliable source. They just post everything, whether it's good or bad. That's what they do. So if you want to see everything that happens, you can follow them. But the reporter, again, I think your mom is probably more reliable than him. So I wouldn't look into it too much. All the reliable people saying right now that it's on hold. Bastoni will not leave Inter unless it's for Barcelona. But Barcelona still deciding whether not to go for him. So we will see if we end up, pulling the trigger or not. But the deal is definitely, not off. I think Barcelona just want to prioritize using all their money, the money that they have, the bulk of it, to get a striker in first, which is unfortunate, but I think that's the reality.
Bro, I'm being dead serious, Hafid. These guys better not let me down. I'm sorry, dude. I'm telling you right now. Listen, Flick. Then, dude, let me be very clear. If we don't go out and get defenders this summer, I'm looking at Flick just as much as I'm looking at Deco. Because if Flick is giving the okays, then clearly he thinks that he's the one that's sitting there saying, okay, go get me a striker before getting me a defender. Okay, cool. If our defense costs us, I'm looking at you then. If our defense costs us another season, bro. Because you were the one who prioritized getting other position. Listen, I understand, I agree. We should go and get a striker, absolutely. But I'm sorry, Hafid. We need to fix the defense. And listen, I don't care, man. I've started this at bargain basement sales. Sell everyone for bargain, though. I don't care. I don't care, dude. Just get rid of all these guys that are in the defense who are not good enough. Get rid of all these scraps. Seriously. But we'll see, Hafid. We will see. I'm remaining calm, but good Lord Almighty, don't let me down there in Barcelona. I'm being dead serious, bro.
Hopefully not.
In this summer, bro, I don't want to hear it, man. I need to see players coming in the summer. But Hafid, big up to you, man. Appreciate you for joining. Listen, guys, big up to every single one of you guys who are here. Listen, guys, unfortunately, today we couldn't do a live stream, guys, because of some circumstances you guys already know, guys. I already had family issues since yesterday, but we were able to do a podcast, guys. All right, so we got the podcast. So hope you guys enjoyed, and get in the comment section below and let me know everything we've talked about in this video, guys. Make sure you guys let us know, guys. Pick up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Barca Boy, guys. Link will be in the title, guys, in the collab feature, guys. So make sure you guys go subscribe to him. And the next episode will be on his channel where we'll be previewing the final game of the season, man. But big up to you guys. As always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Visca Barca. Take care.